What episode is this?
17.
17.
This is 17.
17. Guys, this is Jayson. He's new. He's new.
New to beer.
He's not new to beer. He's quite the expert in beer.
He doesn't know what the hell.
But he's new to the show.
No.
It's very exciting. And Curtis and Ben. And we're really excited because we have this beer that Curtis brewed. That's going to be one of our beers today. And that's very exciting because
Because I brewed it.
you brewed it. And he's very good at brewing.
How does Moses make beer?
How?
He brews it. Good, because he's Hebrew. He brews it.
You should say that for the end.
No, I got a better joke for the end.
Okay, good.
All right.
You have to tell jokes. Too.
It's the same joke, but just with a different Jew.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jayson brought the Clown Shoes Catcher in the Rye 2017. Crasher in the Rye. Oh my gosh. Crasher in the Rye. Catcher in the Rye. 2017. And so, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's really delicious. Clown Shoes is from Ipswich, Massachusetts, I think. And they just came to Arizona. We just got their distribution this year, and I was really excited. I've had a few of their beers, and it's all really, really solid, but where they really, really shine is their barrel aged. So this is an Imperial Oatmeal Milk Stout in rye barrels. I'm a sucker for rye, so yeah, it's very, very, very yummy.
I got a bomber from them the other day. It's supposed to be an Irish red aged in Irish whiskey barrels.
Yeah, the Arch Druid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it sucked.
Oh,
I didn't like it.
It's kind of
expecting
sour.
that.
That's the thing. It's a sour.
It got
red.
soured.
I think that's what it's supposed to be. I liked it. It was kind of weird.
No, it wasn't supposed to be. It was completely by accident.
Okay.
Like, it tasted like I was drinking straight up Jameson.
I mean, it's an Irish whiskey, bro. This tastes like you're drinking Bull of Rye.
Curtis, tell us about your beer.
So this beer is from Phoenix, Arizona. It is brewed by a brewery called Me, and it is an alt beer, which is German for old beer, because it's a very old recipe. It's made mostly with Munich malts, base malt, kiln Munich malt, and just a little bit of pearl hops.
Not yet.
And I swear to God,
Jesus. Give us that one again, Curtis.
No, we'll leave it in there just to show how stupid Ben is.
So, malty, bready, not hoppy. It's a German beer, and it's delicious. I like it. We'll see what the panel of judges thinks, and we'll see what Judgy McJudgeface thinks of it over here.
When did you brew this?
I brewed this. I bottled this a year ago this week.
Oh, nice. Right on, dude.
So
Yeah.
So it's either going to be really fucking good or...
No, dude, I'll bet it's going to be delicious.
I had 2 bombers of this left that I found when I moved a few weeks ago, and I drank the other one last weekend, and it was delicious.
Awesome,
so
dude.
Hopefully...
Awesome.
Cheers. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Excited.
And then the last one that Ben brought.
Oh, yeah.
It is the Swerve City Hog IPA from Belching Beaver. I haven't had anything bad from Belching Beaver yet, so I saw this came out and it said it was passion fruit, orange, and guava.
That's what it tastes like.
So that got me all hot and bothered.
Cool.
Yeah. Sounds like it's going to be really sweet. I mean, we've talked about how we don't really like, IPAs that much, but it's because the trend was, who can out-bitter each other and out-gross each other, rather than, now it's shifting towards who can out-fruit and
Flavor,
push each
actual
other.
flavor.
Yeah. like,
So,
who
kick
can,
you
who
in
can
the
actually
teeth with
put,
hops.
who
Yeah.
can actually put flavor in it rather than...
Oh, yeah, man. The last bottle of this I had a bunch of pulp in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You should try to
That's
pull that
I've
off.
seen this on
after
draft
second
around town, too, right now.
While we're pouring this, Jayson, you want to tell everybody where you work?
Oh, yeah, I wore my shirt. I work at Casual Pint in Ocotillo. Just a lovely tap house and beer market. That's where I got the Crasher and the Rye a couple weeks ago. And, yeah, if you live in Ocotillo or near Alma School and Queen Creek, which is not where I live near, but...
Cool.
All right.
Oh,
I'm excited about
shit.
this.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Gentlemen.
Ooh.
Gentlemen.
Oh my God.
It smells
Gentlemen.
fantastic.
Gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We have a winner.
That's excellent.
Wow.
So I think I've even said when I've been on the show before that I really am not a fan of IPA. Not that I dislike IPAs. It's just not what I go for.
None of y'all?
Like,
Jesus.
because here's the thing, like Ben was saying earlier, it got down to like a hop battle.
When the
like,
trend
who can like
who
fucking
can jam
shove
the
as
most
many
hops
into a beer.
into the boil.
And it just became a pissing contest, and I felt like they kind of got away from like the quality and the flavor of the beer. So I was like, if I'm in the mood for it, there's certain IPAs I like, there's certain IPA flavor profiles I don't. But this IPA, like all the fruit and the specific fruit they use, like really offset the hot bitterness, and it's a really good beer.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, can't argue with that at all.
Excellent.
But I mean, definitely, so the hop comes through. It's a really solid IPA itself. The other collaboration they did with the Deftones is called Phantom Bride. They got cans of that around town too when this hit, and that's like a really super hazy, like milky looking New England IPA, and it's fantastic as well. Like these are definitely the two best Belching Beaver IPAs I think I've had.
I wonder what kind, because the hops they use in this taste very like citrusy as opposed to like earthy, so it really
For sure.
goes with
But
it.
Yeah,
was it guava and passion fruit?
An orange.
Neither of those two are very citrusy fruits.
No,
Well,
So-
with hop flavor
so
profiles, they're either really citrusy or really piney or earthy.
Right.
So like that like more grapefruit punch from the hops, like really.
The sweetness of those two fruits really, I feel like, is what balances out the bitterness of the hop. Ben brought it, so go ahead, Ben.
I will say
it looks like something out of like 1980s Miami.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's Vice for sure, man.
I'm gonna give it. I was just thinking that
Yeah, it's fucking
4.7 Vice cities.
Wow, that's a high rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Ben.
fucking delicious.
Right on, man. Well, so as I've said, not a huge fan of IPAs. Very impressed with this. I will give this 4.52 Vice Cities.
4.52.
4.52. I think
We don't do normal ratings, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just, I'm going to do 4.5 as well. I really like it. I could drink this.
I mean, as well, nobody gave it a 4.5.
Didn't you give it a 4.5?
No, he gave it like 4.7.
You give it a
5.2.
4.52.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just concur with Ben. Curtis and Ben. Curtis. 4.52. I really like it, and I know that I don't have the technical I can't judge it technically or anything, but I can say that I would drink this any day. Don't look at him.
I think it's definitely a delicious beer. It's also a really successful beer. It's exactly what it advertises itself as, which is great. It's a really juicy, fruity IPA with passion fruit, orange, and guava. That's exactly what it tastes like.
It's a great summer beer.
Yeah, and I think it's funny, like kind of like what Curtis was talking about. Like definitely, used to kind of be like a hop off. For lack of a better term, as far as IPAs goes, who could be the most bitter, then who could be the most hoppy, then who could be now it's who could be the haziest, but like it's also kind of about who can make the IPA that people who don't like IPAs like the most.
Yes,
Because IPAs sell more than any beer. We at Casual Pint we crush IPAs. Beer nerds usually don't drink the IPAs. It's usually older couples or people who are like just getting into beer and they're like, oh, I love IPAs. Like that's what it's. So, anyways, because of that, I got to give it a 4.34. Miami Vice's Archer season 6.
Yeah, let's go.
Season 5. Archer Vice. Archer Vice. That's
Archer Vice.
Should we make a beer called Archer Vice?
Damn it.
Archer Vice.
What?
We're gonna make a wheat beer called Archer Vice. No, it'll be a sour.
It's going to be a Berliner Vice.
Yeah, Archer Vice. Okay, so now we are going to drink mine. We've only got one bottle, so I'm going to pour y'all like a quarter glass here.
Please, yeah.
I know we've talked a lot about Curtis's brews on the show. My favorite was probably the Dubel that we made.
Nice.
One thing we'll notice here is there's not a lot of head. This is a very, very old German-style beer, and those beers didn't have a whole lot of carbonation. So I used very little bottling sugar with this. Yeah. Just enough to give it just a little bit of like
Yes,
Fizz.
sir, a little
Just
bit,
a
yeah.
little lace on top.
So I think your glass is a little more than mine.
So malty.
Yeah. So
So what do you think the ABV on this is? What do you
I
know
asked,
the
no, the ABV came out on this to about 6.5.
Okay, cool.
So it's not supposed to be very
Yeah.
alcoholic. So yeah, there we go. All
It's
good.
sweet. It's really sweet.
And this is called Siegbräu for all you Dark Souls fans out there.
Oh yeah. Yum.
Toasty.
I feel like this is what
Fruity too.
this is the kind of beer that they would drink in like Game of Thrones.
It goes down easy. You know, it's like it's really really delicious. Still got like a ton of malt and body on it, but it's like lightly fruity. It's really really good.
Yeah.
I agree with everything he's just said for sure.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say exactly that, but he beat me to it.
I
So
thought we were here to talk about beer.
no, we are. It's just you're a lot better than us talking about beer.
No, I gotta fucking sell
This beer is good.
Yeah, we're just like, yeah, this is like malty.
This tastes
Or
malty.
Ben just says, "Oh, this is malty as fuck," and then that's his.
That's my
that's what he
interpretation.
says.
This
This
is
is
malty as fuck.
malty
No,
as fuck.
it's got that like little fruit aftertaste and
Definitely
kind of like a dried fruit, right?
Yeah, so that's from the yeast. The malt profile that I used all a Munich
Yours is all hazy. Nice.
German base malt. It's because I poured mine last. I got a little bit of sediment. So all German base malt and the only other malt I used in that was a little bit of kilned Munich to give it that darker, like biscuity flavor.
Yeah.
So that's what you get on the front, and then that like almost fruity aftertaste is just from the yeast strain that I used.
No, it's really really biscuity. It's really
I would have this for breakfast daily.
Oh yeah,
I would have this
great.
for breakfast daily. This is so good.
still so clean though. It's not like it doesn't cling to the.
It's not like
palate
a
at all.
gritty.
No.
No, not at all. It goes down really really
A lot.
easily.
I feel like
Good.
every beer I've ever had that you brewed is just always just really good.
Yeah, this is really really
Because
good.
home brews can definitely be like
Yeah.
not good.
I mean, you
yeah.
took your time with this one.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
It's gonna
try
be
to rush
amazing
shit.
though. Like,
you,
right.
dude,
you
some
take your
people
time with it. I feel
like
like when people try to make their own beer, they try to like just get it done as fast as they can, so they can have it as fast as they can.
Right, but I think this tastes, and it depends on what kind of beer you make. You can have grain to glass in 7 to 8 weeks, and depending on the style of beer you make. But this beer, like, one of the big things is during the bottling process, you run the risk of infection, oxidizing the beer, which you don't want to do.
it's like not at all though.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like,
It's really well bottled.
The fact that this tastes just as good as it did 8 months ago.
It's not off at all. Like that's a year bottle. Is that?
Yeah.
It's like
So
it's not metallic-y or like not at all. It's
Yeah.
really really good.
so.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Oh yeah,
Thanks.
man. Thank you.
Jason, you rated first.
5 out of 5. That was delicious.
I'm Doctor.
Cheers, guys. I'm not going to rate my own beer. I'm not going to do that.
5 out of 5, obviously.
0. It sucked.
Wow.
What is the rating system here?
Beards.
Beards.
Yeah,
Five
right.
5 out of
beards.
5 beards.
5 beards. Excellent.
I am really excited for the oatmeal milk stuff.
This beer's pretty good. I'll tell you what.
I'm pretty stoked about it, man.
Jason,
we,
you
we need some fresh glasses. Crasher on the Ride,
By
2017.
I've kicked Jason on the mouth before.
We have.
take 2.
Crasher on the Ride,
Take
2017.
3.
Crasher. Crasher on
Wait,
the
hold on a
Ride.
second. Did we just...
We do this to everybody. Like the like. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're all interrupters. Like that's for sure. I'm an interrupter. Crasher
These
in the
guys are
Ride,
such
2017. Fine, y'all tell me what it is. Just test y'all's palates, motherfuckers. I'm just kidding.
Please,
It's an imperial oatmeal milk stout and rye barrels. That's it. Can I have your glasses?
You have a fantastic mustache. Did I ever tell you that?
Thanks.
I think I tell you that every time.
It's
I
like
see
He
you.
all-
used,
it's
he
like-
used to have like the Civil War general.
Yeah,
Like
we
the-
were all.
I really
well,
liked it.
we all sure were at 22 at once.
Actually, I could grow facial hair like Johann's, and I was like 16.
Thanks, asshole.
So I don't know what 22-year-old facial hair is.
The
What's the
last couple
ABV on
episodes.
that?
It comes in.
Oh yeah, sorry. So 11 and a half.
Ooh.
Oh my!
And the other cool thing about Clown Shoes is they have some of the most consistently beautiful labels. They're all like really, really cool, artistically done.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks like Red Skull from Captain America.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're very like graphic novel.
It smells like
Like a chocolate log.
like a chocolate
log,
like
a chocolate rye log. Chocolate log.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't drink this and drive.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Or don't drink and drive, but don't drink.
Okay, so this is rye. It's rye bourbon, right?
Yeah, that's the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You can, definitely
this is
taste
one of
the
those
barrel.
bourbon. This
the
is one of those.
The barrel is like the biggest.
But it's
flavor
not
to
like. But it's not over. It's not an overwhelming booze
No.
kick.
No.
It's really subtle. It's
No,
very
it's
very
not
good.
boozy, but you get that oak bite at the back.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So
Like, and you get like the aroma too. Like once you swallow it, you kind of like
yeah,
feel like a little oakiness.
makes its way
in
back
it.
in. Yeah.
I've actually never had a beer aged in rye barrels before, so I wasn't.
This is
I didn't really know what to expect. So
I'm
I
a
was
sucker
like,
for that, man. Like, you know, I'll pretty much always take rye over bourbon if it's available. It's just, you know, got a little more spice and just a little. I think it goes down a little sweeter usually. It's just really nice.
Is this a porter or stout?
Stout, big time.
Oatmeal.
You can like it's so smooth and,
Oatmeal.
like creamy, like a milk stout should be.
I didn't remember.
But that
what you said.
oakiness, like this is great.
Yeah, isn't that yummy?
This is fantastic.
Clown Shoes makes some like big daddy stouts. Like even their unbarrel aged ones are like the Blakehorn Unidragon and the Undead Party Crasher is.
Undead Party Crasher was really good.
Yeah, that's like an Imperial American stout. And this is Crasher in the rye, so I assume this is like at least a similar base beer to the Undead Party Crasher, which is such a great beer name. But Crasher in the rye is such a great beer name too. Man, I remember the first barrel aged Clown Shoes beer I had was
Didn't you say
Flight of the Angry
I
Bees.
never got to try that one because they stopped.
I got it in beer mail
Yeah.
like years ago, and it was and they did crazy stuff, man. It's a bourbon barrel aged Russian Imperial Stout blended with a Scotch barrel aged barley wine.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Barrel aged barley wine.
Stop
Scotch
it.
barrel aged barley wine.
Oh
It's
my
blended with the Russian.
God.
It's insane. Like it's so good.
Like life goal is to make a barley wine.
This is just like their out of state distro stuff, man.
Like, I want to make a barley wine, but that's
That's a whole other planet.
That's
not
insane,
even,
man.
and it was delicious.
Like, you're boiling for 2
it wasn't
hours.
loud at all. It was fantastic. It was blended perfectly. It was awesome.
I think this episode might be the most like actual beer episode that
like
we've ever had.
informative. Like
Yeah, like
you guys don't talk about beer very much.
well, we don't know anything. Like we're trying to learn it. Like that's why like we need more of like you in this because we are literally learning
really
as
don't
we
know
go.
anything. Yeah, so am I. Like,
we,
But, like,
we need to
I mean,
read.
but,
We
like,
need to
you
read
just-
a little bit.
I
We
just
need to
know
read
enough
more.
to sell it. Like
But
literally,
like
that's
reading
it.
is hard.
Dude, you know what?
What like if I wanted
I'll
to
tell you,
learn
actually-
like a lot more about beer, like
Casual Pint actually does monthly beer classes.
Oh.
Come in, you buy. It's like a really good deal. You get like six pours on a flight, and one of our managers who is like I think he's like a cicerone. He's like a beer expert and worked in beer for decades. We'll sit there and like teach you about it as and walk you through and taste them. This one, good fundamental one, lagers and pilsners this week.
Yeah.
what day?
Yeah, well, why don't you like lagers and pilsners, Ben? Tell me.
Yeah, Ben.
They don't really.
What's the difference between a lager and an ale, Ben?
Hold on. So
A lager is cold fermented, and an ale is warm fermented.
Ooh.
Isn't it bottom fermenting yeast and top fermenting yeast?
Yes, but it's still he's right. So
Okay, fair
lager yeast are bottom fermenting, ale yeast are top fermenting, but lager yeast ferment at a much lower temperature. And then lagering the beer is you actually do it secondary fermentation at just above freezing for about 8 to 12 weeks to clear out the beer. That's why lagers are always so clear. But you say lagers don't have any flavor. Fuck off. Have you ever had Schwartz beer? Next episode I'm going to bring a Schwartz beer just for you. I'm going to change your life.
Dude, German lagers are like one of my favorite things ever.
Hey guys,
So
you know what's
I
coming
think
up?
delicious.
You know what's coming up? Oktoberfest season.
Yeah, I love
Fucking
lagers.
it.
Lagers-
Oktoberfest beers are all
I don't
lagers.
give a fuck. I
Yeah.
love them.
Is that true?
It's a lager.
Oktoberfests are all lagers.
I think
those are good beers.
I think the label of lager was kind of ruined in my monkey brain because
Oh, yeah, for sure.
because like Coors is a lager and Budweiser is a lager. And
But more specifically, those are all Pilsner style
most
beers.
of
Yeah,
the
they are
most
all
of the macro brew shitty tasting beers are lagers.
Have one that's not shitty because they're sweet and
So
and
I think
crisp and
so I
bready.
think
and-
that,
even
I
if
think
you-
that's
even
what
if you get a
I think
good
that's what kind
Pilsner.
of like ruined it in my
Kolsch.
monkey
Is
brain. It
Kolsch
makes
a
me like
lager?
instinctively go
Kolsch
with
is a lager.
yeah. What's the
Coffee
is
Kolsch is a lager.
Yeah.
Kolsch is a lager.
Kolsch is kind of lager.
Kolsch is a lager.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I just made myself look like a
it's
fucking
with,
idiot.
Kolsch.
Hey, but that's what we're here for.
Kolsch is with. It's with ale malt instead of Pilsner malt. That's what makes it a Kolsch, right?
No, that is actually a cream ale.
Oh, okay.
When you use an ale yeast to ferment, but then you lager the ale, that's called a cream ale.
Oh, okay, cool. Right on.
So, by the way,
Like I said, I wouldn't need to know that to sell the shit.
one of these days, next time I'm on, I want to bring you a Schwartz beer, but I also want to bring over a Vienna style cream ale that I got out of San Diego,
Dude,
which
I
they
love
distribute out
Vienna.
here.
I love Vienna lagers, man.
This is a Vienna cream
Yeah.
ale.
I've never had a Vienna cream ale.
So it's the same malt bill as a Vienna lager, but
Right.
it's an ale yeast, and then they lager it. It's absolutely delicious. Anyway, enough talking about the future. This is fucking good.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Jason, you
cool.
start.
We're going off on a tangent.
Writing?
I give it 4.25. Hugo Weaving. Did we explain Hugo Weaving?
Hugo Weaving.
Do I have to explain it again?
I don't know. I'll just cut it in.
I will just say Hugo Weavings. I gave it 4 out of 2.5 Hugo Weavings.
4 out of 2.5.
4.25. It's fine. We got it. 4.25.
I'm giving this beer 4.25 Hugo Weavings out of 5 Hugo Weavings because it's really, really delicious stout. I love the rye barrel on it, but it doesn't have some of those maybe sweet like caramely complexities of of other barrel aged oatmeal like a Velvet Merkin or something. But it's really delicious.
I'm gonna agree with Jason, and I know that I haven't had any original thoughts this episode. I'm so overwhelmed with the knowledge, and I agree with you. Like the thing with me with any bourbon barrel, any barrel aged beers, is I have a hard time with beers that have a really, really strong, where it's like it just tastes like you're drinking a carbonated bourbon, or
it feels like you're drinking bourbon,
right?
Like a whiskey spiked beer.
Yeah, I prefer a beer that tastes a little bit like bourbon, not a beer that tastes completely like bourbon. For me, this beer has the delicious malts of that I like of an oatmeal milk stout, but it also has like that warmth of the barrel age and that oakiness, like Curtis said at the end. So it's really good. I agree that I don't know if I could drink maybe even the entire bottle. I think I'd get really overwhelmed after half a bomber, but the little taste that we had of this was really I really enjoyed getting through it. So 4.25 out of 5 Hugo Weavings.
Mr. Anderson.
So I'll take my phone call, and I'll give you the finger. Anyway, so I'm really big fan of barrel-aged beers. Whiskey or bourbon barrel-aged beers, by the way. Bourbon. What I appreciate about this beer is you get that bourbon, like oak barrel bite at the end without like the crazy booziness, which for this stout I think is wonderful. You get that wonderful like velvety, milky oatmeal stout like smoothness and just that oak bite at the back. So despite being barrel aged, it's very easy to drink. I love stouts. I love barrel aged. I think this is a fantastic beer. Kudos to Clown Shoes.
Clown Shoes.
So I will give this 4.7 to Hugo Weavings.
I didn't know I had so many Hugo Weaving. That's my favorite part of any of the movie.
It has been reforged.
All right.
Ben's up.
I agree. I do agree with Curtis that I love barrel aged beers. To me, barrel aging a beer is the best thing you can do to a beer. This beer is absolutely one of a kind because it does have all that good barrel goodness and yumminess. And
It's hard to be the last person to rate the beer because everything's been said already.
No, it's got all the barrel goodness and it doesn't really have all of that huge warming sensation that you get from a beer that's over 10%.
Yeah. It's well over 10%. I mean,
it's well over 10%.
But it's
Clown Shoes makes really goddamn good beer. So 4.5 Megatrons.
Oh man, I didn't even know that.
Oh my god, really?
You didn't know that?
Didn't know that?
No way, really?
Yeah, he's Megatron.
I don't believe in.
They have to distort his voice, obviously.
More importantly, because I don't believe in Michael Bay. I think
none of us.
I think it's all a ruse by the government. I don't think he actually exists.
None of us have made any V for Vendetta.
Was he?
He's
the guy?
Yeah, I always think it's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Hugo, even if you're watching this, we're sorry for mispronouncing your name. Like, I know it's Hugo, but Hugo is just like kind of better.
Hugo means juice.
And also, Michael Bay, if you're watching this.
He writes his back. He's like, I prefer.
Okay, hold on. Guys, let's be fair. The Rock was awesome. You made Nicolas Cage good. I don't know how. Nicolas Cage, if you're watching this.
But guys, I mean, like, I understand that the Transformer movies are like garbage, but they're really entertaining.
Dude, they put me to sleep. I've never ever been awake for a whole one. I have never ever not been able to fall asleep.
But for a Michael Bay movie or Nicolas Cage
No,
movie?
just the Transformers movie.
Oh, Transformers.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Like the one, like man,
because they're so slow in the middle of it that by the time you get to the
middle's like 2 hours.
But that's what I'm saying. By the time you get to the big action scene at the end, you're like exhausted.
Okay,
you're just like,
we're off
I'm
topic.
sleeping.
I don't know. It's just like a big robot bukkake. It's so
Okay.
Robot Bukkake is the name of the episode.
Literally.
Robot Bukkake. Robot Bukkake.
Literally.
Spoken.
Because of that statement, this entire conversation is going to be in the episode.
Excellent.
Like, I was literally going to cut it all out until you said that. Now it's just no choice.
Guys, here is to Robot Bukkake.
Hey,
I got nothing.
fuck you.
You have any more beer?
Hey, you can have the rest of mine. I gotta drive.
Oh, I want half of it.
You want some more?
You want some more?
Do you want some more? Yeah, this was an exceedingly educational episode. Thank you.
And at the same time, the furthest off-topic episode that we've ever done.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been fun now.
Jason, you have the joke.
You have the joke.
So there's a man, and he's on an airplane that goes down in the middle of the ocean. And he gets to safety on a deserted island. He thinks he's the only person he can find on the island. He lives there for a while, kind of builds himself a shelter,
Like Tom Hanks.
He's there for a couple days until he comes across a woman. Ben, who's the most attractive celebrity you know? Quick. Anyway.
Julianne Hough.
I don't know who that is. Julianne Hough appears on the... Somebody give me another one, because I don't know who that is.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. Yeah. Charlize Theron appears on the island, and she walks away. She's all tattered too, and it turns out that they were both on the plane together, and they were the only two survivors. Fast forward a couple weeks, made themselves a shelter, kind of have themselves oriented. Months go by, no help, nothing. They try everything. They've scoured the island. They know everything. They have fresh water. They have food, but there's no way off the island, and there's no one is gonna catch a signal from them. So months go by, and they fall in love. A year goes by, and they're out on the beach one day. The man comes out of his hut and finds Charlize Theron, and he goes, Charlize, can I ask a favor of you? And she says, anything, hon. I love you. We made our homes on this island. I'll do anything for you. And he says, would you mind going into our hut and putting on a suit of my old clothes from my suitcase from when we crashed on the plane? Sure! Goes in, does it, comes back out in like a suit and tie and a jacket and trousers. And he says, okay, I have another request of you. Would you mind tying up your hair and putting it under a hat and drawing a mustache on And at this point, Charlize, I mean, big Hollywood actress, she's kind of like, I'm not too sure about this. He's like, just please, I will. I've never asked anything of you. Please, you're all I have. This is just do this one thing for me. She says, all right, I did. So she does it. Goes into her old makeup kit, draws the mustache, gets a hat, so she looks like a young mustachioed boy. But so he says, okay, one last thing. Our island's about a mile around. I need you to walk around one way, and I'll walk around the other way, and we'll meet on the other side in about, 15, 20 minutes. She says, all right, fine. If I do this, will you leave me alone? And he goes, yes, I will leave you alone. Charlize Theron, I will leave you alone, I promise. They start walking in opposite directions. About 20 minutes later, Charlize is walking down the beach, and sees her husband running up to her. And he runs up to her and grabs her by the shoulders and says, hey man, you'll never guess who I've been fucking. It was long.